think that the Bitcoin strategic reserve is a very important thing for America, but it also will signal that these were promises made and promises kept. And I think that that is something that President Trump should do very quickly so that we don't get front run by other countries. So there are a couple of other countries that maybe are not as well known, but for example, the country of Bhutan has about $1 billion of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. But these are small countries, right? They're not kind of susceptible to the innovator's dilemma. They have the ability to do this because there's not a lot of risk. They don't have a huge economy that is put kind of in place. And so I think when it comes to the United States, yes, holding the Bitcoin that we already have is kind of a no-brainer, but buying it is also very, very important. There is a global race for Bitcoin going on right now. And whether you are a local, state, or federal government official, you should be figuring out how to get as much Bitcoin onto the balance sheet as possible. This is not like gold where we can just go dig up more of it out of the ground. This is not like other assets that can be created out of thin air. There's only 21 million. And on the off chance that Bitcoin ends up actually fulfilling the promise of Bitcoin, we're going to want to hold as much of it as possible. And so we're not talking about large amounts of money. I mean, the national debt increased by $850 billion in the last 90 days. If we were to try to put that same $850 billion into Bitcoin, that is about half of the current market cap. And so we're talking about $50, $100 billion. That's small numbers, rounding errors when it comes to the government spending. And I think that it is well worth the risk reward.
We've seen, of course, all of the cycles in Bitcoin prices. While certainly could have much more upside from here, what do you think is the biggest risk right now? What's the thing that's going to trigger the next crypto winter?
The biggest risk for most people is that they don't own enough Bitcoin.
Because come on, Anthony, you know that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what is the biggest risk to price action?
No, again, I think that that is the biggest risk because if people aren't holding Bitcoin as a portion of their portfolio, that means that they have 100% of their wealth allocated to dollars or dollar-denominated assets such as stocks, et cetera. And in our country, there is death, there's taxes, and there's the national debt is going to go up. And so Bitcoin is a proxy for currency debasement. The U.S. dollar has lost 25% of its purchasing power in the last 5 years. 50% of our country has 100% of their wealth in dollars. It's a national crisis. 50% of the American citizens had 25% of their wealth stolen from them silently. They have no clue it happened. We have to educate these people. It's a financial education gap. An asset like Bitcoin is a digital savings account that helps protect them against that currency debasement. There's many other assets that they can also put into that investment portfolio, but holding too many dollars is the biggest risk in a world where the national debt going up and the currency being debased is all but guaranteed.